All right, and the final question to Shana. Here it is. It's got a big briefcase to it. If elected to serve the 1st District of Racine, what immediate steps would you take to eliminate governmental waste in City Hall? And there's an asterisk here, like community centers and privatization of some programs.
Well, I think that's a good idea. I actually attempted to do it with Racine Parks, doing a small dance program, and it was free at the Bryan Center, and we did it for a summer, and it was fun. I had a total of 6 girls, it turned out. I did learn that if you promote it, you should promote it yourself, even though Racine Parks and Rec says that they're going to do it for you, you should do it also and spread the word. But yeah, because I think that if somebody has a passion for something, they are willing to do it for free. You can do it for volunteer work. I can go teach dance because I love to teach and work with little girls, teaching them dance. Simple as that. So I'm sure there's plenty more where I came from that would love to do that. There are people that want to help people with their finances for free, to do it as volunteer work. I think that's a good idea.
Cool. Keith, what about, let's narrow this question down to the community centers instead of the city as a whole. What about this, having more volunteer work in the community centers? How do you think that would work out?
I basically think that would work. But, as you proposed the question before, and you said one of the examples would be the community centers. We've discussed arborists, we've discussed city administrators, we have a city band, we have a 25-year club. There's plenty of waste in the budget. If you go through the budget, and as we went through the budget this year, we said, well, what if you take out this? Well, we want to save a fire station and 3 firefighters. Well, why don't you take out that? No, that's the way we've been doing business. But if you take out that, no, that's the way we've been doing business. So business as usual should change. There's some fluff in the budget that needs to be taken out. If you can set aside, or if you can afford to set aside monies just in case you lose a contract because you rescinded a contract and you put $2.3 million aside, you can afford to do some very creative things with this budget to save monies. So, instead of on one end we say, okay, we want to, every citizen said, every person that runs for office said, well, I want to lower crime. Well, you want to lower crime, but then you want to take away the first thing that's going to possibly prevent crime, which is a community center and stuff where young people go and get educated and spend time doing things and stuff that are going to deter them from what you're proposing. So community centers, that's one of the things that are very high priority as far as on my list of things to stay, because they do some things. They do more things than we realize that they do.
Okay, thank you. Ed, over to you, 1 minute.
I do think we have to take a harder look at the budget. If I come up with an arborist, I'm certain there's much more that can be cut.
What is an arborist? They weren't going to ask the question.
A tree doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did you get that on tape?
I got it.
Yes.
A tree doctor is a good.
Oh, is it a tree doctor?
He just knows all about trees. Because we need to know all about trees. We can't figure it out ourselves. I don't bet you into my time, but we need to look into the budget, and there's a whole lot of waste there and inefficiency that we can find and try to correct. I don't think any cuts in the community centers are going to do anyone any good. At the same time, I think we do need to encourage and solicit more involvement by the citizens, more volunteers. The number of people who are retiring now, the baby boomers and so on, be more than glad to get involved. We need to welcome them and encourage them in all phases of the city, and that can be economical. Because we were distracted by the arborist, and I jumped in something about sales tax real quick, just to make a point.
Real quick.
I sell boats.
This guy's practicing around and stuff.
Yeah. I sell boats. People buy a boat, they store it and keep it in Racine because of our 5.1 tax rate. In a small boat that's about $5,000 or $6,000 that comes in the community just to physically have it here, plus all the meals and so on all summer long. If it's a bigger boat, you're looking at $15,000 of cash that comes into our community because our sales tax is 5.1, and because we have a waterfront and because we have downtown.
Thank you. Marlo, over to you.
Could you repeat the question just so that I can...
Yeah. If elected to serve the first district of the Racine, what immediate steps could you take to eliminate governmental waste in City Hall?
Okay. I am a big proponent for just being responsible fiscally with regards to any sector of government, especially with the individual in their own financial means. I believe that we should look into privatizing 401k and look at that as a cost savings. I believe that we should look into making the city administrator a part-time position and cost savings with that. I agree that we should possibly look at reallocating the financing to CAR 25 and having a modest fee associated with user services for that. There are a couple of things that we can look at as a city, item by line item, seeing where money is budgeted at, where there is a waste, and eliminating it where we can. And one thing, boat owners in Racine, it's not a large percentage enough individuals that it's really going to make a dent in our revenue. Racine is more or less a service-oriented city. And we have higher middle class and lower class individuals who live here that we are not getting boat fees or any of those type of fees from. We need to look at other ways to bring revenue to Racine. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeff, 1 minute.
One more time with that question.
Your question is, if re-elected to serve the first district of the city, what immediate steps would you take to eliminate governmental waste in the city hall?
Well, the first thing, I would say that we've continued to look at each department, department by department, individual by individual. Over the years, the city has done a pretty good job of that with all sorts of things, with street lights, with the LEDs. Like, for instance, about 10 years ago, they replaced stop and go lights with LEDs. We were paying about $90,000 a year. Well, 5 years ago, even with the cost increases, we were only paying $40,000 a year. And we're saving a lot of money on these other street lights. So the city is trying to move forward and do this thing, to do these different things to do this. And we're in parking ramps, we're looking at LEDs, we're putting LED lights in that go off and on with sensors and stuff. So I think we're doing a lot of things, and we just have to continue to look at new and innovative ways to save money in the city. Maybe we don't need things in certain departments that we could get away with as retirees come along. And we've been doing a lot of that, but it comes to a point where we're not going to be able to do that anymore. But that's some of the ways we can do it.
Okay, thank you. All right, and that ends the question and answer period. Each candidate has fielded 2 questions, and all the others have got to respond to it. So we're going to close now with the closing remarks by the candidate.